Coming up on NFL Primetime from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, where it's been Fan Appreciation Day all season. The Packers look to visit their office, while Eric Metcalf had his own message for the Pack fans as the Falcons went for the upset. In San Diego, Aaron is there. Natron is back. But would Junior in the defense lead the Bulls? For the Colts, Faulk returns to the site of his college days. So would it be a good homecoming? Eat, drink, and be merry on NFL Primetime. Nerd. Again, everybody, I'm Chris Berman. Yeah. Well, that'll be after. I knew this was coming. That'll be after New Year's Eve. Trust me. We'll try that again. I'm Tom Mees, and welcome to NFL Primetime for the playoffs. With me, my noisemakers, Tom Jackson and Joe Theisman. How do we recover from that? Well, I'll tell you what, a couple of teams that'll be burping after tonight, and a couple other teams that'll be moving on, and let's get right to what happened today. Took me all year to do that. Well, is there a better setting for the playoffs than Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin? The answer is decidedly no. The Green Bay Packers, who hadn't won this many games, 11 regular season games since the Lombardi era of the 60s, strode in as NFC Central champs for the first time since 1972. They were facing a run-and-shoot team, the Atlanta Falcons, making their first playoff appearance in 4 years. The Falcons beat the Niners to get in, so they had a little moxie. But yet, run-and-shoot, outdoors, the way the Packers play, undefeated lifetime of the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And it was 28 years ago to the day that it was the Ice Bowl. Third down, 17-14, Cowboys. Bob Lilly digging in. Starr and Lombardi have discussed it. It's the quarterback sneak. Jerry Kramer the block. Starr the touchdown. 21-17, Favre, Vance, Lombardi. Today, Lambeau Field. The names and the new faces, the cheeseheads, the muddy spikes, the new hero Brett Favre, all the trappings were there, especially when George, aptly named Ice-T, picked off Jeff George and stayed in, made a nice return, and the Packers are in business at the 20-yard line. But a couple of penalties on the drive and some good Falcon defense turned the tide. Chris Dolman with the sack, a missed field goal, and then as Reggie White watched, he played some, but not as much as last week. Jeff George scrambles. Derek Metcalf. Can it be? The Falcons are going to spoil the party. 7-0. The Falcons. Metcalf. Is he going to go into the stand? No. Joe, pretty play.
Well, Chris, what he tried to do here is Jeff wanted to go up the field, and nobody has a stronger arm than Jeff George in the league. He just lays it out, and Eric Metcalf, used to play in that weather, makes the TD.
But the Packers keep their composure. Edgar Allan Bennett, quote, the end zone nevermore. A touchdown, and Bennett into the stands, and a new Packer playoff record. 3 Packers in the crowd after 1 touchdown at 7-7, Tom.
And this is a massive hole when you consider where they are on the football field, the 8-yard line. That hole created by Taylor and Dotson for Edgar Bennett.
Then Favre keeps churning it to Robert Brooks. He bumps with Ron Davis. Interference on Davis, kind of shaky, but it's a first down, and that sets up 1st and 10 at the 14. Favre to Brooks, touchdown, 14-7, and he's made this all season long. The beautiful sight of Brooks into the stand, 6-play, 78-yard drive, 14-7 at the Pack. Second quarter on the 13-yard line, George to J.J. Burton, but he drops it. So Morton Anderson kicks the field goal. It's a 14-10 game. The Falcons are game. Late in the quarter on a punt. Antonio Freeman, the rookie. Sterling Sharp told us he has great vision. Dan Igor Straczynski, I don't think so. He could go all the way. 76 yards into the stands. 20-10, Pack. Tom, what happened?
Great blocking here by Craig Newsom and Terry Mickens on Alton Montgomery. Realize that Montgomery here has contained. He has to keep the return man inside of his block right there. And he does a good job of this, except he ends up about 3 yards out of bounds. Good contain, but you got to do it in the field of play.
Late second quarter, the block by center, another athlete named Packer, Frank Winters, and Bennett goes 12 yards up the gut. Then Bennett up the gut and cuts it back against the grain for 13 yards. Sets up 1st and goal for the Pack, and Favre to Pro Bowl tight end Mark Chmura. But Chewy doesn't chew on it. He drops it. 3rd and goal, Pack get a break. Interference on D.J. Johnson. and it keeps the drive going, and then Shimura for the touchdown. He says, hey, I'm not going to leap up in there. I just dropped one. I'm happy to get in the end zone. A 27-10 Pack. Scoreless third quarter then. Falcons 4th and 6. George to Terrence Mathison. Chances are it's a first down. Then George to Burton. Breaks a tackle. He's gone. Falcons within 10, 27-17. George 9 for 11 on the drive. Packers now driving 3rd and 7. And Favre is going to look for Robert Brooks. Oh, they say he pushed him out, Tom.
Yeah, you watch the replay. You see this is a bad call. D.J. Johnson goes in front, swipes at it. You never see him push Brooks. Brooks with one in, one out.
Later in the drive that stays alive, Favre to Brooks. He shuffles inside the 30-yard line. Then 3rd and 3. Watch the pump fake. The beautiful pass. The beautiful catch by Dorsey Levens. It's a swing era. Boom, 34-17 Pack.
And looks like Levens' man stepped out of bounds. He didn't. You could see it clearly on the replay, and gets both feet in there or pushed out by the defender.
And what a beautiful touch pass by Brett Favre.
Pretty good catch. Pretty good play all the way around. Falcons get it close to 34-20, but first Bennett hits it. Marcus Wilson, Johnny on the spot. The celebration starts. Edgar Bennett, not Jim Taylor, pole horning. That's a new rushing record in the playoffs for the Pack. You know that's cold on New Year's Eve in Green Bay for Mike Holmgren, but you know what? He doesn't mind. And the fans at Lambeau Field, 60,000 strong, witnessed the Packers to go lifetime 9 for 9 in playoffs at Lambeau. Green Bay 37, Atlanta 20. Favre, the 3 touchdown passes to offset 366 yards passing on 54 attempts for Jeff George. Bennett had 108 yards. Afterwards, Mike Holmgren dried off, then talked about it.
We're going to win it all. No, you know what? Why not? You know, we're going to go in and we know that you know, San Francisco and Dallas, until they are beaten in the NFC, you know, they are the best teams. They have proven it the last few years. They're the best teams. But I'm sure Ray is talking to his group in Philadelphia, and I'm going to talk to our group, and we're going to go in, and we both believe we're going to win those games.
The bottom line is we converted when we had to. You know, and the touchdown play was a great catch by Dorsey, a play that we've practiced all year long and never ran. You know, Mike finally had the you-know-what to call him.
This is a true indication of why you want your games played at home and why you want the home field advantage. Out here, the ground was terrible. I mean, it should be illegal to play on a field like that. It was just, you know, mud, and it was like ice skating rink. And besides, I mean, they were loud. They were just on fire. They sang. They danced. Yeah, they did everything humanly possible. But that's why you want one at your home field.
Well, yeah, home field, where the Packers are 9 for 9 in home games, 7 for 7 in the playoffs at Lambeau. They've won 8 in a row now this year after an opening game loss at Lambeau Field. Probably won't be home, but still have a chance to play one. I think we were impressed with the balance of the Green Bay Packers, but let's give the Falcons the nod. Unlike the teams on Saturday, they played for 4 quarters, Tom.
Well, early on as a road team, they did exactly what they needed to do, and that was put pressure on the home team by putting points on the board and making this team have to play football and come from behind. And the Packers, as Chris mentioned, had great balance in their pass and run game. And I think the effectiveness of this offense is keyed by Edgar Bennett and his running ability.
Yes, Tom, but you made a point yesterday that I thought was very key. You said that quarterbacks are so very important to the success of teams. And I will reiterate that fact. I thought Brett Favre has played sensationally all year. I think he played sensationally today. If this isn't a punctuation to the fact that he should be the MVP, I don't know what is. Take a look at some of these throws he makes through the course of the day. This is just him jogging out. Now, that is just nice in itself. Sets, fires. There's the throw to Robert Brooks. When he gets a chance to set and throw, the ball gets out as quick as anyone. Now you saw him throw hard. Little pump fake here. Here's the pass to Levens. Hangs it up in the air to the only place it could be for the touchdown. Absolutely perfectly thrown. I think that Brett Favre is playing as well as anybody right now. And Boomer, the other thing he told me, they don't care who they play on defense. They're just going to run their offense, and they expect to move the ball.
Yeah, well, that's right. Why shouldn't they expect to move the ball? They've done it almost every game. The one bad note for the Packers, their fine young guard, Aaron Taylor. Remember he missed his rookie season with a knee injury? He tore a tendon in his left knee. That's his other knee, but obviously he'll be out for the playoff run as San Francisco awaits the arrival of the Green Bay Packers, a game Mike Holmgren has thought about for a long, long time. grew up there, 49er fan, worked for the 49ers, knows the offense, and they know him. That will be intriguing. 12-5 overall this year. The Pack in the 12 wins. Brett Favre, 36 TD passes and 3 picks. Okay, in the 5 losses, he's human, but the Pack have won 7 of their last 8 overall as they head for the coast. When we return, we head for the coast. Colts, Chargers. Would this be the upset? The Colts unveiled some new names, and boy, were they impressive, much to the Bolts' chagrin. Well, we'll be burping tonight, and then tomorrow morning, put another shrimp on the barbie. Might it's the Outback Ball from the Big Sombrero. Aussies, the Sombrero, doesn't get any better than that. Penn State and Auburn at 11 a.m. College Game Day precedes it at 10 a.m. And when we return on Game Day, it's the Colts and the Chargers. Hey, the Chargers have an Australian punter, but it was the Colts that were playing American rules football. We'll be back. Top of the hour, the best of Sunday conversations. Cal Ripken, Michael Jordan, Mickey Mantle, the late Mickey Mantle, and others. That's at the top of the hour following Primetime. And welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, the last piece of the opening round puzzle, the Bolts and Colts, who played a thriller 2 weeks ago, won by San Diego on a field goal by John Art Carney with just seconds to go. San Diego had to win 5 straight to make the playoffs, but the defending AFC champs, you know they could dig down and do that. They got in. The Colts making their first playoff appearance since 1987. Only their second playoff appearance since Ted Marchibroda strode the sidelines in Baltimore in the mid-'70s. And here are teams with Pro Bowl backs, Marshall Faulk, Natron Means, but the guys that lugged it, Zack Crockett, Lamont Warren, Aaron Hayden, remember the names. Here we go to the Murph. Bobby Ross, Chargers in the playoffs 3rd time in the last 4 years. Ted Marchibroda had those proud Colt teams with Burt Jones, but 0 for 3 in the playoffs. Marshall Faulk played his college ball for San Diego State here at the Murph. First play of the game, Faulk, well, he's on familiar turf, but he looked good right away for 15 yards, Tom.
Yeah, unfortunate here. You see him make a great cut to his right, get up the football field. It was a great beginning for Marshall Faulk, and then Dwayne Harper, right at the end of that run, rolls up on the ankle, and Faulk was finished for the day.
Well, same neither was twisted before, and he was out and would not return. They've already lost a fullback, Roosevelt Potts. But Jim Harbaugh, what a year he's had. Junior Seau, though, what a play he makes. It's as good a play as we've seen by a linebacker.
And you see the entire package here. The speed, the stick with the receiver, the looking back for the football, and then getting up and making a play with his hands. He is a great linebacker with great athleticism.
The Chargers, though, go nowhere. Darren Bennett might punts from the end zone. The Pro Bowl kicker hits it about 75 yards in the air, but outkicks the coverage. And Ray Buchanan from Louisville, 46 yards. Look at him make the return. And this is what happens when you outkick the coverage, Joe.
Exactly, Boom. You know, guys just can't get down there, but he also did a lousy job of tackling.
And 3rd and 6 from the San Diego 7. This is what San Diego was scared about. Jim Harbaugh's improvisation down to the 2. And Chris Mims not only does a spear, which keeps the drive going, he also spears his own guy, Harper. So, second quarter, first hit, though, Lamont Warren nailed by Wayne Gordon. Indy has it on 3rd down. Harbaugh, always in trouble. What a great play to the rookie tight end, Ken Dilger, 7-3 Indy, Joe.
Well, we talked about the second play. Right now, there's the end of the first. Now Harbaugh starts the second play, keeps his eyes open. Dilger in the back of the end zone. Touchdown.
So, again, the improv, and it's 7-3 Indy after the big mistake by the Chargers. Next San Diego drive, Stan Humphries dumps it off to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon, one of the best receiving backs ever in football. He can catch it, he can lug it, Tom.
Yeah, Ronnie Harmon here, spot shadowed. You see him do a good job of stepping into the middle and blocking the linebacker, giving Humphries just enough time to complete a pass to Tony Martin.
So Humphries scrabbling, he flips it to Albert Papudu Platter, and he's into the end zone for an early New Year's celebration. He chugs the football, and it's 10-7 Bolts. Humphries 5 for 5 on 3rd down passes, but the Colts come right back. Zack Crockett, king of the wild frontier, 33 yards. The guy carried 1 time in the regular season. Who is he, Joe? What's going on?
What's going on? Look at the guys up front. Zack, we know, is from the wild frontier, but look at the holes those guys up front are creating. They're running right out of the fort.
And Teddy said, that's the way we scheme it up. He and the offensive coordinator, Lindy Infante. Humphries pass deflected. First by Ambrose, who was all around the ball off the helmet of Tony Martin into Ray McElroy's hands. Big play at the end of the half, so San Diego, instead of taking the lead or kicking a field goal, is down 14-10. But Stan Humphries comes right back. Third quarter, zing. Deshaun Jefferson moving on up. The Chargers up 17-14. Here come the Colts. What a game this was. Harbaugh. Deshaun Dawkins, who had a big game against him 2 weeks ago. 42 yards and a touchdown.
This is one of the things that Jim Harbaugh has worked on under Lindy and Fonte. Throwing the ball with a lot of air under it. He's allowing Sean Dawkins to make a play. Great concentration. Big play receiver. Big play made.
So Harbaugh and the Colts are up 21-17. Marshall Faulk, well, he's not ready to play, but he's ready to cheer. After a Chargers field goal, gets it to 21-20. Here's Zack Crockett, king of the wild frontier. I tell you what a run, and the Chargers just couldn't catch up to this big fella. Touchdown, 66 yards, a career day, obviously, when he has no yards in the regular season, breaks the old Colt playoff record set by Tom Matte. It's a team with Alan Amici and Lenny Moore, but the record goes to Crockett. And another interception, 1 of 2 for Jason Belser. 4 Colt interceptions against Stan Humphries. That sets up Harbaugh. This was the play that he called. From the 4, called his own number 4, touchdown. Colts lead 35-20. The Chargers had a couple of late chances late, but not today. 5 straight wins, couldn't make it 6. And the Indianapolis Colts have won their first playoff game since 1971. They were defending Super Bowl champions under the Easy Rider, Don McCafferty back then. It's been a long time. Teddy wins for the first time in the postseason. The Chargers were proud defending champs to get in, but they ran out of gas. Chris Mortensen is at the Murph with the hero at quarterback. Mortimer?
All right, thanks, Chris. I'm here with Jim Harbaugh. Jim, big game for you. Let's go through the touchdown passes, but the beautiful pass, the one to Sean Dawkins. Tell me what happened on that.
Well, Sean was getting bump and run coverage most of the day, and he felt he could get behind his man, and we beat Clark on the go route. Good job of Sean getting by him at the line of scrimmage, and I put a pretty good pass up in there, and we needed that one.
How about Doger? The one to Doger, you're chased out of the pocket. Great throw there. What happened there?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that end zone kind of slants down because of the baseball field, because I didn't know if I put enough height on. I was getting a little worried that Sean Gale might pick it off, but it was just high enough for Kenny to get it.
Crockett's first run, was it a checkoff? Was it an audible?
Yeah, that was the first touchdown was a checkoff. That was an audible, and the second one, and he just made a fantastic. Zack Crockett from Florida State Seminoles, man. I love the Seminoles now.
Was there anything that they did defensively that you felt you caught them off guard with?
They brought some safety blitzes, but I don't know. I just think our offensive line did a great job. You know, they've been maligned a lot this year and had taken some knocks, but today they did a great job run blocking and pass blocking. I'm going to go celebrate a little bit.
All right, thanks, Boomer. See you later.
He should celebrate. Way to go, Jim Harbaugh. Way to go, Mortimer. And talking to the Chargers this week, and I guess, by the way, the Chargers schmutz rag didn't go out the window. I guess that's gone for the year. But they were worried about Harbaugh and his, what you talked about this morning, Joe, his improvisation. And, boy, they knew.
Yeah, boom, but still, you got the Bills still there, so don't worry.
Well, don't worry. I got squads there. Don't worry
about it. The thing about this ball game, 2 things really jumped out at me. First of all, in the first game, the Indianapolis Colts allowed San Diego to hit the big passes. Jason Belser was picked on, gave up 2 touchdowns. Now he winds up with 2 interceptions. The other thing that became so obvious to me in this game is that the defensive secondary did a lousy job of tackling, as well as the special teams for the San Diego Chargers. Tommy, when you get into games like this, every play has got to be a big one. We talked about Junior Seau. He'll make 15 great plays, but with his running around and his intensity, he'll miss 1 or 2, and the guy will go a long way, and I think that's what happened today.
Yeah, misdirection affects him. The other thing we talk about is, especially, again, with road teams, you have to execute 2 things. Front 7 has to be able to stop the run, and you have to conversely be able to run the football. The Colts did both of those things today, and I think a big shot in the arm for them as they go to Kansas City. They were able to accomplish this without Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, you know, they really fear no evil. They won the game they had to win last week without Marshall Faulk. A couple of notes, though. When Atlanta lost earlier today, that meant 13 straight losses for dome teams outdoors. But the Colts, a dome team, that snaps the streak. The last win had been 1988 by Houston, winning at Cleveland 24-23. Another note. San Diego won 5 in a row to get in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Detroit won 7 in a row to get in the playoffs.
Yep.
Ran out of gas when they got there.
That's right.
Got to have some breathing room, right?
Well, hard to tie that string of 8 games together, 10 games together to get to a Super Bowl. Tough to do.
Ran out today, and the Colts, outstanding job. They didn't care that nobody believed. Now they'll go to Kansas City. When we return, let's go inside the numbers first. This weekend, by the way, the Colts game, 35-20, was the lowest scoring game of the weekend. The 266 points scored this weekend is the most ever by far in a weekend of football. We repeat, if you could play any defense at all, you might win the whole ball of wax. When we return, we'll set you up for next weekend, and we'll dole out our game balls. Stay with us, please. Prime time rolling on.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way everyone can save on collect calls. It's easy. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT from any phone and save.
The third-round pick from Florida State, the rookie Zack Crockett gets mine. 13 rushes, 147 yards, and a lot of it after the first hit. Tommy?
Joe, my primetime player, Edgar Bennett of the Green Bay Packers, 108 rushing yards, 11 yards receiving, a touchdown. Green Bay playoff record for the rushes. Boom.
Well, each of those guys set new team playoff records, but I'm going defense for the Pack. He always comes up big in big games. George Ice Teague, interception early, big plays all through the game. A defensive player for the Pack gets my game ball, and that's the Pack. We'll be back. Oh, you should see the expense we went to for that. It was unbelievable. AFC playoffs next Saturday, tremendous. Buffalo at Pittsburgh in a head knocker. Indianapolis at Kansas City, the late game on Sunday. The NFC playoffs now set. Green Bay at San Francisco Saturday late. That could be tremendous. Philadelphia at Dallas in the rematch of the Switzer Bowl. That's the early game on Sunday. And I don't know, Tom, I think that if you think about the Packers against the 49ers, they have a good chance.
That's very becoming. I think when we look at the NFC, we see the familiarity between the teams makes for some great matchups. Green Bay and San Francisco, and then the Philadelphia Eagles driven by their coach, Ray Rhodes.
Well, San Francisco and Dallas, to me, are not teams that care about the home field that much, but definitely Kansas City is glad to have it. The noise factor there gives Derek Thomas and Neil Smith a big advantage over offensive linemen, and a Gouda one, too.
Yeah, it's a Gouda one. And from all of us here at ESPN and to our friends in Maui, from the mayor of Maui to my minister of defense, minister of offense, let me get this right. Holy makahiki hao. Happy New Year in Hawaiian.
Dan Saliamua to you, too.
And a happy Tuiasa Sopo as well.
For Joe Theisman and Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Burpin. Have a good New Year's Eve.
The holiday season in New York.